Continuing, who is the psychic surgeon? The psychic surgeon is part of a network of life, and therefore is in that network and has a certain affinity to all others in that network of life. And some call it the web of life, some call it, well, there's many names for it. And being part of that web of life, the surgeon, the psychic surgeon, is able to essentially travel across the web to other places in the web, on the web, and even outside the web. But for the psychic surgeon's duty of maintaining health and life within the family, the clan and lineage and neighboring lineages and communities, the psychic surgeon is necessarily in tune with all that is going on, the living vibration, the earthy vibration, the air, the stars, everywhere is affecting the psychic surgeon at every time, but the surgeon doesn't necessarily have to be aware of all of that. It's just part of what is making them an effective tool of God and their own intentions as they follow their destiny in the world. But as the psychic surgeon becomes an instrument of divine will, there's more that is open to the psychic surgeon in way of opportunities to use these higher God-given gifts. I will now continue to talk about the psychic surgeon, but only use the term surgeon at times. And the surgeon is also available for emergency type of operations, if able to pull the necessary conscious and unconscious energies together in a particular way that can affect the healing. So the healer, another term of the surgeon, psychic surgeon, is also aware of what is the basic default pattern of the biology connected with the entity to be healed. And this is usually an innate understanding that comes through a sensing of either the patient, whether the patient is a person or an animal or an insect or other form. So the healer, surgeon, is also part of many worlds that other physicians wouldn't necessarily deem necessary. But then the role of the psychic physician is to heal in a broad sense by being part of the whole, and being part of the whole means using all of the whole in the healing technique. That means that the whole or the totality is within the individual physician, and the psychic physician is able to manifest their talent in the situation they are in, such as a healing situation, by using the totality. And they may not need actual physical tools such as scalpels and other types of medical devices to do this type of surgery. And being a psychic physician also is a responsibility that extends to more than just removing malignant tumors or such, but having the ability to maintain health. And the maintenance of health and the birth of life and the death are all part of the physician's duties and responsibilities. And it is a sort of universal skill among those that have these kinds of talents ingrained in them, such as lineages and families that have close connections. And this is like instinctual. It's a psychic instinct. And the psychic physician uses their instinct because they know so much more than they can even think. So it's much of this information is beyond comprehension to the practitioner of psychic surgery. And the psychic physician is actually a much higher discipline, because it involves in the entire network of healing and isn't particularly emergency disease related, and it's more of health and life and the whole process of connectivity through family, through clan and lineage. And what this means is that not only is the genetic structure a primary contributing factor to the overall health of the community, but the actual cultural practices become ingrained in the healthy community, healthy family, and the healthy tribe or healthy lineage. And the tradition that is born or built up through these activities becomes the ongoing activity of the lineage in which one is within. And the actual lineage of these psychic physicians has a particular type of understanding built in themselves to affect healing because of their close connection to the universe and their use of tools that connect them to the universe. These tools are within them, yet they are simple equations that have such power that allow the individual practitioner to essentially rise above the normal laws of space and time, but actually they're just using those laws and the manipulation of those laws in particular isolated zones, which are determined normally by the radius of the fingers around the fingers and the hand, if the hand is used as the instrument of the surgeon. Having an understanding of the totality of the complex of relationships between the individuals within the family, clan, and greater lineage relationship in the tribal and ultra-tribal or connections to other tribes is becomes part of the conscious awareness of what the people in the lineage can talk about, because these are the actual relationships, and language is a good vehicle for talking about these relationships, yet the relationships also exist in an observable form to the physician because of the necessity of maintaining the resonant harmony within the family, clan, and tribal groups. What this means is that by being in touch with that type of reality, the emotional, mental types of problems that might be evident in a non-monitored society are actually filtered and dealt with directly through the traditions in the lineage and lineages. So the actual use of this total method of comprehending the relationships means that the physician can start to detect where there are things wrong, especially physical problems, emotional problems, mental problems, because they are not part of the harmonic. They're not part of the resonance that occurs, and these things might be diseases, they might be, psychotic problems or emotional problems that might be able to be sorted out. They might be, a physical problem might be cured through psychic surgery, or the mental or emotional problems might be able to be resolved through counseling, through other lineage and family members. So the availability of opportunity to progress and get over difficulties is well inherent in the structure of tribal societies, and also these, what we might call the more primitive family units and tribal units, and the connectivity between these people becomes one of the health of one is the health of many, because everyone is so interconnected, and it takes time out of everybody's time for people to be cared for. And so in the overall flow of time, it is realized that the prevention of disease is more effective energy-wise than the curing of it, and that the actual traditions within the tribe or society or lineage are such that they dictate that health become a primary factor. And this is because the structure of the lineage is such that to progress, there has to be procreation and love and family units and clan units and tribal units and other types of relationships with other tribes or lineages within the vicinity, and other types of national and broader scope things. Yet the lineage itself that we speak of, that has the ability as psychic surgeons, psychic physicians, is also connected to the spirit world and the world of nature and the earth and the sky and the universe. So what we have in the lineage is a broader scope understanding that allows the individual to see the spirit in another. So the psychic physician is not only treating the body, it's a matter of seeing the body and treating the spirit, and the body and the spirit are healed. And why is this? Because the body is more than just the atoms and molecules. It's composed of a light body and aura and other forms that maintain its structure, its identity and place and space and time. And therefore the ability of the psychic surgeon depends on penetrating and altering those realities within a certain type of space-time network and framework and location coordinate. And what normally this is done with the assistance of guides or other lineage members who can help with this type of operation, especially if the individual performing it isn't particularly schooled in this methodology. So the reliance on faith and other spirits to in the healing process is essential for the lineage practitioners, in that it's not necessarily the lineage's responsibilities to perform miracles themselves, yet to be the instruments of those miraculous occurrences. And so the humble nature of lineage members in most cases lends to their closeness with God and their spiritual nature and their deeply religious convictions and devotions. So taking those considerations to heart, one can see how in time the grace in which the lineage exists can be shared in other communities in the world at large. And understanding the entire compassionate nature of the physicians in the lineage, and the idea there of being able to share this compassion and healing with others is part of a awareness by lineage members that we are all part of the total, and we are all whole together, and we all have purpose together. And when one boat rises, all boats rises, and it's part of our own heritage to be joined in the heritage of others that have the same space and time and needs as well. And so harmony will prevail if people can learn to agree and to share and to have compassion, and that means to share the healing and the joy.